Ashley, it's technically the college football postseason now. We have reached the college football second season.
I thought this ended after the regular season.
No, there's no end for you. Instead,
I'm coming
we get
to
to bring
realize
back
that.
America's favorite segment. It's free money! Free money! My college football picks against the spread. We're joined by Matt Wilson of the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau. Hi, Matt.
Hello, everyone.
We're here. We have you in because
I'm sorry you have to sit through this.
It's okay.
There's only he's used to it. There's only one game this week, and it's in your backyard.
That's Arlington, Texas.
Yes, it's in your backyard.
Yeah. I can see it from my house. Yes.
But big doings in Arlington. This is entirely true. I just booked a hotel in Arlington.
And you didn't call me. Awesome.
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not paying for it. Somebody else is paying for it.
That works.
That's not my problem. But yes, because the state championships are coming, and I know. I guess I always enjoy talking with you about this. That the state championship games are what I always appreciate about the city of Arlington is you guys have gone out there and said no. This is an important event for us. This is a huge event for us, and I know that the UIL feels like it's a really nice home for the state championship games.
Yeah, it's really important for the city of Arlington. I could go into a ton of different reasons, but when you look around the country, there's nothing that matches Texas State Championships.
It's a singular sports
it really
event.
Is.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. And when I tell people that we'll have close to 250,000 people over the course of 4 days, it really gives a lot of gravity to this event. When you talk about WrestleMania, you talk about Final Fours, all those different things are awesome. They're cool. But state championships for 4 days, people will get to experience Arlington and have a great time. And we view it very much along the same lines as those other big championships.
Well, and you think about it, like with 250,000 people, like we're talking about like 3 Cowboys games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're
And
talking about
it really is. And I think sometimes people don't think of it in those terms, but we've really gone out of our way to educate everyone in the city, from our restaurants, our hotels, to everyone, that this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Really
And
big
it's
deal.
every year, like you brought up, like the Final Four and stuff like that. But like this one is guaranteed every year.
Yeah, this is
It's
something.
every year, and it's so big for the Cowboys too. I mean, Mr. Jones, Jerry Jones. I say Mr. Jones, just in case he's listening. Mr. Jones.
Hello, Mr. Jones.
Thanks for tuning in.
This is a very important event for the Cowboys as well, and it really starts with them. If this were something that they were like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, whatever, it might be a little bit different. But the Cowboys have gone out of their way to make sure that this gets the same amount of attention that all these other big events get.
Yeah, I've got to admit that like that 4th day, when I'm leaving the stadium, I was like, okay, I can take a break from this stadium here. Like I always say that it's that this is a reminder, because I think I truly believe that's the AT&T Stadium is maybe the most remarkable building humans have ever constructed.
Yeah.
It is
Pyramids,
amazing.
It's a spaceship.
Right, it's up there. That is proof that you can get tired of anywhere.
hey, if you could get tired of the mac and cheese there,
Yes.
which I
Oh
do,
my gosh.
their mac and cheese is incredible. I'd put it up against any mac and cheese you've ever had in your
It's
life.
good.
You didn't know that this was a show about mac and cheese, but it's now become that.
It typically is,
by
actually.
the 4th day, I can't even look at it. I really can't. And
Please
people who
put it
haven't been
away.
there, people that haven't been there all week will come in and be like, "Oh my gosh, mac and cheese!" I'm like,
Go nuts, man.
Yeah, take as much as you'd like. I'm not eating any of it.
Of course, there's big doings this weekend too.
Yeah.
That you guys are welcoming in some folks from south of 35 and some folks from north of 35, and then I guess from all over for the Big 12 championship game. Another signature event there in Arlington that I know you guys pride yourselves on hosting every single year, and I know you guys have a great relationship with the Big 12 as well.
Yeah.
So this of course brings us to free money. It's a truncated edition of free money. There's just one game.
You may have to explain that word to a few folks, especially from my hometown. Truncated might be a little.
It's a smaller than usual.
Yeah.
Smaller than
And
usual.
abbreviated.
But I can tell you, Ashley.
Which we like. We like when free money is
Well,
truncated.
Ashley, I've
as
got
one
bad
might
news
say.
for you.
Yes.
But I went 6-4 last week, and with my 6-4 mark, I'm now 61,
No, are you gonna be over
49 and
500?
4 on the year, which means I am guaranteed to finish above 500.
Does that mean we bring him back for next year?
That
I
means
mean, is
my
that good enough to
contract
keep him
auto
going?
No.
Free money auto renews.
No.
I think that's up to Ashley. Isn't
I
it?
think I think it is too. Matt, oh, man, I love when he's in here.
You can have all the mac and cheese you want.
Let's get to the game. It's the Big 12 championship game. What is our game this week, Ashley?
All right, our singular game, yes, Big 12 Championship, Baylor versus Oklahoma, 11 o'clock a.m. on Saturday at Jerry World. OU favored by 9.
Of course, this is a rematch.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you take over. I'm really interested. We have not. This is true. We have not. You've been in the office for 15 minutes before this, but we have not talked about the game at all.
No, we have not.
I'm interested in your feel on this game.
It's really, really tough to beat someone twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk to any high school coach in Texas, they'll tell you it doesn't matter if they beat somebody 55-10 in the regular season, you get to the playoffs. It's a different deal. You've seen each other once already on the field. It's not just about film study, but you have a really good feel for what that team does. I really feel like Baylor probably wins this game.
Outright.
Wow. And here's the reason why. I think that you've seen Oklahoma, you've seen a few dents that they might be able to exploit. Jalen Hurts is an incredible quarterback. Turned the ball over a few times, made some uncharacteristic mistakes the last couple of weeks. It's going to be a dogfight for sure, but I think Baylor wins outright, and that's just my gut.
Okay. Let's go back to their original game. The first time they played, 34-31, Oklahoma comes back and wins the game. Let us, just for the sake of this exercise, say that is an accurate reflection of these two teams. That Oklahoma is slightly better than Baylor, just for the sake of this argument. Okay. Now you take it from a home game to a neutral site, and you add C.D. Lamb, who missed that first game.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to be back for Oklahoma. How much of a point swing is that? I'll tell you what. I think that's worth some points, but I don't think it's worth 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Baylor in the points. I'm going to take Baylor plus 9.
Okay.
I think this is about a 7-point game. I think C.D. Lamb is worth some points. I think a neutral site is worth some points. And so I do think this game is close, which may end up hurting both teams if this game is close. Because right now, when you look at the college football playoff, they need style points.
Yeah.
Both these teams need style points. So I will say I'm going to go with Baylor plus 9. Although sadly, I think Oklahoma wins the game.
Okay.
I think this game is close. But
How does Charlie Brewer play?
Right, that's a huge question.
Yeah.
Charlie Brewer plays mistake-free ball. I think Baylor has every chance in the world to win that game.
Absolutely. I think you're right. And the biggest thing, if you look back on the first half versus the second half, the biggest difference in that game was that in the first half, Baylor's defensive front was in Jalen Hurts' kitchen making eggs. They were just stirring, saying, do you want something? In the second half, they protected him better.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the Baylor defense attack Hurts? Because I think what we saw is that you can rattle him.
Mm-hmm.
You can get him to make mistakes if you put pressure on him. Can they put the right amount of pressure and not expose their back end? I think that's going to be interesting. So we're on the same side of this.
Yep.
We're both taking Baylor plus 9. I think Oklahoma wins, but so you would lean towards a little money line.
I really hope my mom's not watching this, but yes, I'm still
know,
going
man.
with Baylor.
Okay, all right.
Really hope.
Question for you.
Yes.
Just to throw a wrench in all this. If one of the teams per se does just blow out the other one, they get those style points that they need, do y'all think that one of them makes the college football playoff?
A lot of it comes down. What we're finding out is that a lot of it comes down to what Utah does. Now that Utah is ahead of them, Utah plays Oregon. Now this would be a Utah team that would beat the number 13 team, I think Oregon, versus say Baylor, number 7 beats number 6. I am also the guy who doesn't believe that the committee is in the interest of actually putting together the 4 best teams. I think they're in it to put together the 4 sexiest teams.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Surely not.
I have a hard time believing that unless they are forced to, they're going to put Baylor in the playoff. I hate to say it, but I think because it's Baylor. Like I don't agree with that, but. Unfortunately, I feel like Oklahoma, they would have no problem putting Oklahoma in there because Oklahoma's a big brand name.
Yeah,
Baylor
brand name.
simply
if
just
they blow out Baylor.
Yes.
If they blow out Baylor and Utah struggles with Oregon, which is very, very possible, both of those things are very, very possible, then I think you see a Big 12 team get in.
Mm-hmm.
If Oklahoma even struggles with Baylor and it's a close game, Utah wins handily, I think it's going to be tough for people to pass on the Utes.
I agree with that. That's the biggest issue for me is I want to see, do they hold up, what Utah does, because I just think they're looking for an excuse to keep Baylor out. Again, this is
Yeah.
conspiracy Greg.
And I love Utah. I love to watch them play. And
They're
always
fun.
have.
That defense is fun.
Yeah.
Their defense flies around. But you look at the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You
not
can
good.
make the same argument to some degree about some of the Big 12 schools, but the Pac-12 schools, they do not have great resumes.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I'm rooting for Baylor. I hope they win the game, but I do think that I'm going to take Baylor +9. But I think Oklahoma comes away with a win, and that's free money. But again, we're above 500, so it doesn't really matter. It is Matt Wilson of the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau. Go to Arlington for the Big 12 championship game, and then we'll have you in next week to talk some bowl season.
Let's do it.
Well, is that right? We'll know the bowls next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have you in for bowls.
Sunday morning.
Yeah,
We should.
we'll have you in for bowls, and then I will be seeing you for 4 straight days, probably 5.
If you're not avoiding me by then.
I'll come say hi.
Yeah,
I'll be
please
there.
do. Please do.
Absolutely.
Mac
We
and
can make
cheese,
fun
all
of
yours.
Tepper. Oh, yeah. For at least a couple days, maybe. Apparently, it's not very.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll tell you some
Listen,
behind
I've never gotten sick of it. Let's put it that way.
as someone who used to work for a bowl, I can tell you some behind-the-scenes stories of bowls whenever I'm on next.
That's next week
Ooh.
on Free Money.